Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am privileged to speak to you tonight about the New Life Feel Better program. My name is Susan-2RD, and I am a proud beneficiary of the New Life products, but as well as the New Life business. Both ends are benefiting beautifully. And today I will be sharing with you about the New Life products and particularly the Feel Better program. So for us to have good well-being or to have complete wellness, those are the five, or I would say the 4 areas that we need to focus on. Eating healthy, which is what I'll be focusing on tonight. Exercise, sleeping well, and then managing stress. So that is keeping things simple and thinking positively. So before we dive into the Feel Better program, I thought I should give facts about what is actually happening on our planet and why we should take things more seriously. So I was looking up some of the facts from the WHO website, the World Health Organization website, to find out the prevalence of chronic diseases, which is what the New Life products really target. And these are the really unfortunate facts. But the beautiful thing is that for quite a number of them, there is still something that we can do about them. We can still change some things. We still have the power to do something about them. He's going to give you, I'm in a meeting, okay? So according to the research that was done in 2021, I think that is the latest research that was done, it was found that 43 million people died of chronic diseases globally. Thankfully, it's global, it's not in Uganda only, so it's a global issue. And 18 million of these 43 are actually below the age of 70. So if you think about it, actually 70 is fairly young. People can still be productive at 70, at 80. So somebody dying below the age of 70, I would want to think that they've died when they're still really, really productive. And then one thing to note is that 82% of these premature deaths are actually happening or happened in low and middle income countries where Uganda falls. I would like to make a little comment about this. Usually when we talk about taking New Life supplements or advising people to take New Life supplements, usually one of the responses that we get is that, Uganda, we are blessed with rich soils, we are blessed with a lot of food, we are blessed with, but that is something that is said by most of the low and middle income countries. But unfortunately, that is where we are getting most of the deaths. So that poses a question as to whether we are actually benefiting from the so-called good weather and the so-called good soils and the so-called food. Then when it comes to actual chronic diseases, we have the cardiovascular being the one that accounted for most of the deaths. And then we have cancers that followed closely, and then chronic respiratory diseases, and then diabetes. So those are the diseases that are most common in our countries, or the ones that are actually killing people the most. And the causes are unhealthy diets, which is our focus for us tonight, physical inactivity or lack of enough exercise, the harmful use of alcohol or alcohol abuse, tobacco use, and air pollution. Out of all of these, I think it's air pollution where we have little control over, but the rest really we can do something about them. So now we come to food, nutrition, diet, and chronic diseases. What is the picture? Let's paint a picture. So that is the food pyramid there, or the recommended food pyramid. This is how we should be eating. However, over the last few years, the pyramid has been overturned and it is facing the other way around. So we're eating a lot of, we're finding ourselves eating a lot of processed food. We are eating a lot of convenience foods. And it has almost become a trend, especially among the young people, that when you start getting money, then you shy away from the local food that we should be eating, and we go for more processed foods. And of course, it eventually affects our diet, our health, and that is why we see the increase of heart disease even among young people. You see people in their 40s getting cardiac arrests, getting heart attacks, getting strokes, and of course, some types of cancers. I must mention that not all cancers are diet related. Some are genetic. There are some genetic contributors. Then there are some that come due to other issues, but then diet has a big role to play in some cancers. And then, of course, we have diabetes, obesity, bone and joint issues, stroke, high cholesterol. All those are chronic illnesses that can be managed by diet, and that we're seeing growing in number due to our poor diets, or diets that we take that are not good for our bodies. So now we say why supplement, and I will not say why supplement, but why use New Life supplement? Why should we use New Life supplements? And I will mention this about New Life supplements. I will not talk about other supplements because I do not know as much as I do about New Life supplements, because I've done enough research. I've used them myself. I've used them. My family has used them. My friends, and my clients as well. So I can very confidently say that I would really vouch for New Life supplements. So why should we use New Life supplements? To meet nutrient needs, since most of the foods lack the original natural nutrients, and that is because our soils are depleted. That's because we use a lot of artificial fertilizers. It's because we have a lot of GMOs, and all the reasons that they are. And then, of course, to bridge the gap that we have on our plates, we're not able to actually ask how many of us actually have eaten 5 fruits and vegetables in one day this week. Different fruits and vegetables in one day this week. If we are lucky, we might actually have just one or none at all, and I'm one of them. I cannot say that I've eaten 5 fruits and vegetables in one day. I will eat at most 3, but that is really just about it. And of course, that is a deficiency, because ideally we're supposed to have 5 different fruits and vegetables of different colors, because every color has a different benefit to the body. So that means that there is a gap on my plate, and there is a gap on your plate, which we need to fill with the New Life supplements. And then we know, or we have experienced that New Life supplements actually help us to prevent illness. They help us to reverse, those of us who may have conditions already, to reverse some conditions, or significantly improve some of those conditions. Okay, so now going into the Feel Better program. I'm starting off on the Feel Better program. So what are those products that we consider in the Feel Better program, and why? So I'll still mention this. Now, for us as distributors, some of the most complicated people that to bring on board to start taking supplements are the younger people. And usually because they're still, healthy, strong, and they feel like they do not need any support. But that is only because they haven't got enough education, or they don't understand the role of supplements. So you tell them and they're like, no, but I'm okay. I really don't need supplements, but maybe we could buy for my mother. And I'm thinking, actually, you do. So I make an effort to teach the young people, and hopefully one day they'll understand what it actually means to take New Life supplements, and not because you are sick, but because you want to prevent sickness. You want to give your body that push to be able to fight off any sickness as you get older. So the New Life Feel Better program, for me, is targeted towards the ones who are still okay. So someone says, no, but I don't have any sickness. So I'm okay. I exercise, I eat well. So then this is when we launch into actually, you don't have to be sick to take these supplements. After all, they are not medicine. It is food meant to bridge the gaps that are on your plate. So our first product, which is also our star product as New Life, can only be found in New Life, patented by New Life, is the TRIN. And currently we are running a program to get our distributors to be able to earn a daily profit. So you know that we have TRIN as the product to start with. So you sell your TRIN, you get your profit, but at the end of the month you also get your commission. But now I'm talking about the benefits in terms of health. So TRIN is really for feeding the cells and ensuring that the cell membrane is healthy and is permeable, to be able to allow nutrients to come in. Once the nutrients have been processed, what the body has taken out, or the cell has taken out what it needs, and then the cell is also able to allow the waste to get out. So TRIN is made from whole grain wheat, oils from whole grain wheat, from whole grain rice, and soybean. And that combination is perfect to ensure that our cell membranes are soft and permeable and in their original nature to be able to perform the role that they should do, and that is to allow in nutrients and also allow out toxins, and that helps us to be vibrant, to be energetic, and to live better generally. So yes, so that is our first product, and I would really recommend that whenever we are giving a program for our clients, that we always try to have TRIN as one of the products in there, because if you give all these other great products and TRIN is not one of them, remember that also TRIN allows for the other products to be absorbed by the cell. If the client is taking TRIN, it means that if they're also taking, say, let me give an example of Carotenite Complex, for example. That means that then the cell is able to actually absorb the nutrients that are coming in from the other supplements, and then also be able to release the toxins or the waste that will have been produced during the process. So it is important that we always try as much as possible to have training as part of the program, so that the client gets the best benefit out of the products. Okay, then the next product as part of a Feel Better program is the salmon oil, omega-3 salmon oil. It is the first supplement of its kind to assure a standardized amount of all the 8 members of omega-3 family that is involved in human nutrition. So that is the New Life difference. That is why our omega-3 is different from the other omega-3s that you'll find on the market. You know, normally you hear someone saying, yes, I do. I've been taking omega-3. I know omega-3. But then if it's not a New Life omega-3, maybe they need to start on the omega-3 from New Life, because it is different, it is better quality, and it gives much, much better benefits. So omega-3, it promotes cardiovascular health, that is heart health. It is great for youthful brain function. It is good for healthy, flexible joints and healthy eyes. So omega-3 can be taken throughout our life cycle. It can be taken by pregnant mothers to support the pregnancy itself, but also to support the mother. And even after the baby is born, they can start taking the omega-3 in very little quantities, and you can increase the quantities as they grow older, because at the end of the day, we need to support their heart, we need to support their brain, we need to support their joints, we need to support their eyes as they develop and grow. Okay, and then the next product is the Carotenite Complex. Carotenite Complex is the the only product of its kind to provide this exclusive blend of carotenoid-rich concentrates in a form that the body can easily recognize and utilize. When I was reading about when I'm reading about supplements, I understand that there are some supplements that actually cannot be absorbed by the body, maybe because of the formulation that they have. So somebody is taking a supplement and it's really not doing anything for their body because it's not being absorbed into the system. So carotenoid complex is not that kind. It can easily be recognized and utilized by the body. So which means it's actually bioavailable. The body will get the benefits as soon as you start taking it. This exclusive blend is made from whole food tomatoes, carrots, spinach, red peppers, strawberries, apricots, and peaches. And the one thing that I remember reading about it and getting very excited was that it boosts immunity by 37% in just 20 days. So before a month elapses, your immunity has been boosted by 37%. Just imagine that, how wonderful that is. So that means that you don't actually have to be sick to take carotenoid complex. You just need to take carotenoid complex to give yourself the ability to fight off any illness. Carotenoids boost immunity, helping the body to defend itself against a variety of aggressive threats that I already mentioned, and also to support the cardiovascular system. We already mentioned in the facts from WHO that cardiovascular issues are the most common and are the most killers among chronic diseases in the world. So any product that we have that will support cardiovascular health is something that we need to really put emphasis on. Okay, and then our other product is the essential vitamin and mineral complex. This is a proprietary minerals with phytoenzymes for easy absorption and digestion. So just like I mentioned about the carotenoid complex, the formulation of the essential vitamin and mineral complex is that they are very carefully formulated, that they are easy with the phytoenzymes now, they are easy to be absorbed and digested by the body. So they become useful to the system as soon as you take them. So if you have been following the different products that I've mentioned in this Feel Better program, you'll know by now that I'm actually talking about ProVitality. This is the ProVitality pack. And a ProVitality pack is one that I look at it as like the base of health. Whether you feel okay and you don't have any health issues, or whether you have health issues and you want to start on a program, I usually look at ProVitality as the base. This is where we start from. You lay that base, you lay that foundation, and then the other products can be taken after that. And if you don't have any other issues, then you can just take your ProVitality maybe twice a year. If your budget allows 3 times a year. If the budget is not that great, maybe once a year. But it is important that you have that at least at some point during the year, just to give your body a bit of a boost. And then if somebody has a condition that this is one of my favorite products. This is one of my favorite products, and it was one of the first products that I really, really appreciated. I think I was taking products before this one, but because I was young, healthy, I did not feel much difference really because I was okay. And then until my baby started suffering from digestive issues because she was not her stomach was not handling food well. So until we started on the shake, and our life changed completely. And the stress evaporated because it was really a source of stress for myself and my husband and the family, because the baby was really struggling with food and with her stomach. So the New Life Shake, a very delicious drink, so delicious that you might not believe that it actually works the way it does. But it is amazingly delicious, but also very highly nutritious. It is called a food replacement. Very good for people who are losing weight because it keeps you full for longer. But it actually doesn't have a lot of calories. It has very, very little calories. I can't actually remember how many now, but it's surprisingly very, very low amount of calories that it has in there. It has 18 grams of high quality protein in each serving, and also all the 22 amino acids, including all the essential ones, are included in this New Life Shake. It has a rich source of fiber, which is what we really needed for our baby. We needed fiber in her system, and she was so young, so the options were limited. But the New Life Shake gave us exactly that. And then it has glycemic response control technology, which helps to minimize fat storage and promote fat burning, which is why it is ideal for weight loss. So normally when either you start taking this shake or you recommend it to somebody and they're taking it, sometimes especially if they're diabetic, the question could be, is it actually safe because it's actually sweet? So these are the answers that you need to really provide for them, is that actually it has no artificial sweetness. It doesn't have any artificial colors, and this is beneficial for all of us because sometimes artificial colors can be toxic in small amounts, but all the same, they have some toxic elements. There are no preservatives, no GMOs, there's no gluten, there's no cholesterol, there are no saturated fats, there are no hydrogenated fats or trans fats, and it's only 90% lactose free, so only 10% of lactose. So it is a very healthy, wonderful drink that we would like to keep under the New Life Feel Better program. And for our clients that have the passion for health and have the ability as well, of course, you have to consider that as well. We recommend that they can have this for their breakfast. It can be their breakfast. It can be their lunch, especially those who are on the weight loss program. For those that have children, it can be the children's breakfast, along with maybe a fruit or something else that is healthy. So would really recommend that once we are talking to people, especially those that don't have any conditions, but we want to interest them in the New Life supplements, that we recommend this Feel Better program, and that we use the explanation that I gave earlier of, you don't actually have to be sick. You don't have to first feel unwell to start taking New Life supplements. You just have to remember that what you're eating currently does not actually fit into the recommended standard. You might try. Everybody tries at some point. We make an effort, but the effort is not enough, because realistically, not many of us are able to eat 5 different fruits and vegetables every day. Not many of us are able to eat 3 different types of whole grains every day because that's what is recommended. So we often fall short. And also because in many cases, we are not in charge of the other things that we eat. For example, the meat, when you buy the meat, you don't know the quality of the meat really. You don't know if it has any toxins. Maybe it's just been slaughtered after being treated for something. We don't know how it's being fed. When you look at the chicken, the same thing, including the eggs as well. So there are some limitations that are beyond our control, which is why we need to actually make an effort on the other side in places where we have control. And this is, for example, to do with as we have the access to supplements, that then we manage that we make an effort to fill those gaps, those nutritional gaps that will have been created due to the insufficiencies that are probably beyond our control or not realistically possible because of the way we live or because of the way we work or because of the where we work and all of that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you once again for making the time to attend the meeting, to learn with me. And I hope that this was beneficial to you, and that we shall, starting from ourselves, start on the Feel Better program, and then that way we are also able to recommend it to our clients, to our family members, and to our friends. Thanks again, ladies and gentlemen, and have yourselves a lovely night and a good rest of the weekend. Bye-bye, and God bless you.